You hear knocking in the walls. Furniture drags across the floor when no one's home. And your children start speaking in voices that aren't their own. This isn't a ghost story. This isn't folklore. This happened, and it became the most infamous haunting in British history. A case so terrifying, even the investigators left shaken. Enfield, London, August 1977. Peggy Hodgson was a single mother, raising 4 kids in a modest council house at 284 Green Street. The neighborhood was quiet, but the house was not. It began with the girls, 11-year-old Janet and 13-year-old Margaret, complaining that their beds shook at night. Peggy brushed it off. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was just the summer heat. Then, the knocking started. Not random tapping, but 3 deliberate, heavy knocks. One evening, as Peggy walked into the girls' room, she saw a chest of drawers sliding across the floor, moving toward the door as if to trap them inside. She pushed it back, and it came at her again, harder this time. That night, she gathered the children and went next door to the neighbors, the Nottinghams. Vic Nottingham went into the empty house to check, and heard the knocking himself. The next day, the police were called. Constable Carolyn Heaps walked through the house, skeptical, till she watched a chair slide across the floor on its own. She later swore in a written statement, "It moved without anyone touching it. I checked for wires. There were none." If the police couldn't help, who could? Soon, the knocks weren't the only thing in the house. Janet began to change. Her voice deepened into something guttural, far too low for a child. It claimed to be a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in the house years earlier. "I used to live here," the voice rasped. "I died in that chair, downstairs." When investigators checked, they found that yes, a man named Bill Wilkins had died of a brain hemorrhage in the house, in his chair. But the voice wasn't the worst of it. Janet began to levitate. Witnesses, including a local news photographer, claimed to have seen her rise from her bed and slam into the wall. Objects flew across rooms. Bibles were ripped apart in mid-air. The Society for Psychical Research sent Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair to live in the house. They recorded over 2,000 incidents. Furniture moving by itself, loud bangs at all hours, toys hurled with dangerous force, and Janet speaking in the Bill voice for hours without straining her vocal cords. Something doctors said was impossible. They also claimed the knocks would respond to questions. "Knock once for yes, twice for no," they'd say. The knocks answered. The activity grew violent. Curtains twisted into tight knots in seconds. Cups of water tipped over, soaking electrical outlets. Janet was pulled from her bed at night, dragged down the hallway by her hair, her body bent at impossible angles. She woke up wedged inside a fireplace, black soot smeared across her face. The investigators tried to bless the house, but it seemed to make things worse. Neighbors reported hearing screams coming from the house when no one was home. One winter night, the temperature inside the house dropped suddenly. The pounding started, louder than ever. Maurice Grosse ran upstairs to find Janet, floating in the corner of the room, her head thrown back, her eyes wide open. She was laughing. A drawer shot out from a dresser, missing him by inches. Then everything went still. By 1979, the haunting seemed to fade. Janet claimed the voices just went away. But in a 2012 interview, she admitted something she had never told the press before. They still come back, not often, but when they do, I know it's them. The Enfield case became one of the most documented hauntings in history, inspiring books, films, and The Conjuring too. Skeptics say it was all a hoax. Believers say it was proof of the supernatural. But to those who lived it, the truth doesn't matter, because evil doesn't need you to believe in it, for it to believe in you.